You're listening to Rabbi Wolbe of Torch in Houston, Texas. This is the Jewish Inspiration Podcast.
And now we conclude today with the sixth dimension of those who speak Lashon Hara. We're in page 772 in the Treasure for Life edition of the Orchos Tzaddikim in the gate of Slander, day number 139. And now we're talking about the sixth dimension of those who speak Lashon Hara. Misaper Lashon Hara al gaboy tzedakah shehem ksherim, someone who speaks slanderously about those who collect charity. V'govin be'emunah, who are upright and honest in the collection of charity, and also in its distribution to God-fearing people. V'gam mechalkim be'emunah lases liyirei shamayim. Hamisaper Lashon Hara aleim, someone who speaks Lashon Hara about such people. Shehem gonvim me'atzedakah. Oh, they're siphoning off money. They're not being truthful and honest. V'nosim panim, v'nostim lemisheim rotzim umarbim lekrovehem. They have their favorites. They pick and choose who they give to. They're not being truthful and honest. Zeu lashon hara she'ein aroch la'ansho. Such a lashon hara is so devastating, and the punishment is so severe for one who speaks falsely about such people. Ki gorim she'osam gaboyim aksherim yistalku v'yitmanu acherim ro'im bimkomam. Because what's going to happen? They're going to chase out somebody who's honest and dignified and wholesome and truthful, and who's going to take their place? Someone who is not. We see that such a person is now going to deny other people from giving charity because I don't know if I can trust them anymore. I don't know who I can trust. So that people are not going to give tzedakah, and the poor people are not going to be receiving because nobody's given to the community treasury. Ki osam acherim oroim lo yachmelu alaniyim hatovim, because those who want to give are going to think twice before they give to genuinely poor people. And this person, by speaking Lashon Hara, has now harmed the will of Hashem. Kitachas asher hoya lo lechabdam lo dai lo shelo kibdam elagam heralahem. Not only that these people should be honored and should be glorified for their honesty of going out and raising funds for the poor people, instead you went out and you mocked them. You went out and said slanderous things about them. I want to tell you that my grandfather, during the Holocaust, was receiving an enormous amount of money from the Aguda, from the Jewish agency in New York. It was going to Sweden, where my grandfather was residing at the time, and my grandfather was going and buying visas for Jews, thousands of people that he was saving their lives. This money was coming. He was attaining these visas and getting them saved. They were able to go to various different places because my grandfather secured those visas for them. My grandfather kept a ledger of every single penny. Every single penny that he received. My grandfather, during that time, didn't have food, didn't have a penny for food, didn't have a penny for his own sustenance, and yet every single penny was accounted for. And that ledger, we have that ledger that my grandfather kept meticulously for every single dollar that he received from the sources in New York for all of those visas, every single dollar. It's such an important thing. I know I do this for a rabbi in Israel. I help him out. I send him through charity that comes into a special fund, and I send it to Israel. And at the end of every year, I send him the full spreadsheet. I say, I want you to go over it, and I want you to see every single dime that came in. Here's the exact ledger, and here's the money that was sent to you, dollar for dollar, penny for penny. I don't want there to even be a doubt that it was 100% accurate. And I think that every every executive of every organization should make sure that there's an internal audit, just so that no one can ever say that, heaven forbid, there wasn't 100% accountability for every penny that was given. And I consider it an honor in Torch, being at the helm of Torch for now over 20 years, that we're so cautious that we consider the contributions of the community to be holy and to be something which is of tremendous holiness and value. And we can't just like, oh, it's okay, it's not a big deal. No, it's considered mammon hegdish. It's mammon of the temple. You don't waste that money. You don't just squander it. Every single dollar needs to be accounted for, and it's not something which should ever be taken lightly. So, the sixth dimension, Lashon Hara, we said someone who speaks negatively about the person who collects the tzedakah, the way it used to be is that there would be one person who was in charge, the gabbai for the community, to raise funds, and then when poor people would come to the town, he would disperse money accordingly. If you're questioning their scrupulousness, if you're questioning their trustworthiness, it's a big problem. Lama naaseh davar sheyachshedu osanu kasher nechshedu ploni or ploni yirei shamayim. He says, why would anybody take that job? We know that guy is righteous, and look what they did to him. Right? It's almost like what happens in politics. Right? It's incredible. It's like nobody can be clean in politics anymore because they come in, they hardly have $1 in their personal account. 3 years later, they have millions of dollars in their bank account. Nobody knows how. Nobody knows how it happens. It's like, and it's becoming this trend. If you fail in everything else, become a state representative, become a congressman, become a senator, because they all become very wealthy very quickly. It's really a big shame. Our sages of blessed memory said, Lashon Hara horeges shlosha bnei adam. Lashon Hara kills 3 people. Ha'omro, the person who speaks. Ve'hamekablo, the person who is the recipient of the Lashon Hara. Ve'oso shnemar olav, and the person, the subject, who was spoken about. 3 people die. Ve'hamekabel nenash yosem mimisha omar, and the person who is the recipient is more accountable than everyone else. You're not allowed to live near people who speak Lashon Hara. And certainly not to sit with them and to chummy with them and to drink a beer with them or to hang out with them. What are they doing? They're just speaking slanderously about other people. What was the greatest punishment the Jewish people received in the desert? The Lashon Hara that they accepted of the spies. By the way, we're not allowed to speak slanderously about the land of Israel. You know that? Dibas ha'aretz, speaking negatively about the land of Israel, comes with a great punishment. Even complaining about the weather in Israel is considered dibas ha'aretz, speaking Lashon Hara about the land of Israel. You know who spoke Lashon Hara about the land of Israel? The spies. What was the punishment? 40 years you guys are going to suffer in the desert. And guess what? You're not going into the land of Israel. Your children, they'll go in, but you're all going to die in the desert. Why? Because you accepted Lashon Hara from the spies. When someone speaks Lashon Hara, what are they doing? They're trying to elevate themselves while pushing their friend down. I'm talking about Joe, and now I'm putting Joe down, elevating myself. He did a terrible thing. Me, I didn't. I'm a good guy. You're feeling good about yourself by putting someone else down. If a person performed the mitzvah and imputed virtue to himself, it would be very bad. But how much worse is it? The kol shekain, Kol sheken v'kol sheken she'osa avera gdola b'lashon hara machzik tov latzmo. He thinks good of himself. That's one problem. But thinking good of yourself on the back of someone else, that's worse. If someone speaks Lashon Hara on orphans, and on widows, then his punishment is even greater. Because they're already in so much sorrow, and so much pain, in so much suffering. And now you're adding Lashon Hara to that. They're feeling terrible, devastating pain. The Mishnah says that in certain situations you're allowed to lie. If one says to his neighbor, where is a fire to be found? As in which house? As in the house of such and such, where meat and fish are always to be found. Who's always cooking? Who always has good food? The shchiach bei basar v'dagim. Afilu zeu Lashon Hara. This itself is also Lashon Hara. Why? Bo re'ei. A person has to be so careful. He's not saying something negative. Right, but you know what's going to happen now? People are going to storm his house just to eat his good food. He's not going to have any more money left. He's going to be out. He's not going to have... Yeah, it's a nice thing that you're saying. The Talmud says you have to be very, very careful about saying this because you can put the guy out of business. Not out of business, but you can take away his entire livelihood. So now he's saying a person has to consider the words he's saying. They may be Lashon Hara, even if he doesn't know that they're Lashon Hara. Okay, that's one thing. But then there's something called Lashon Hara powder. What does it mean? It's just the remnants of Lashon Hara. Kigon she'omer shitku miploni. You say about someone, do not talk about such and such. Don't talk about him. Eini rotze lahodia ma shani yodea mimeno. I don't want to talk about what I know about him. Did he say anything? Did he say anything? No, but he's insinuating I've got some scoop on this guy. Don't get me started about so-and-so. Did he say anything? Nope, didn't say anything. But everyone already gets the idea of what's going on here. V'chein kol kayotze b'zeh, and all these types of speech-like activities that cause someone's value to be brought down in your eyes. Because don't speak even the good about another person. Don't talk about another person is what our Seder is telling us. We have no business talking about other people. Because even if you talk about the good of another person, we can talk about his good. Wait till we start talking about his no good, about the things that he doesn't do right. Perush, al tesaper tovaso bifnei son'o. This is a very important thing the halacha says. Never talk good about someone's competition to them. So you have a bookstore. I go to you and say, Mark, you know that guy down the block, his bookstore? He's such a nice guy. Right? You know what you just did? You stuck a dagger in his heart. He's my competition. You don't know. Let me just tell you something about him. You say he's such a nice guy. Let me tell you. And then they start. You just started their fire. You talk about their competitor. You just said the worst thing about even the nice. I only said nice. I only said good things. Now you started a whole conversation that is going to lead to not a good place. Perush im tisaper tovasa b'fnei sono otzu yashiv. Do you know what he did to me? Do you know that he stole my pallet of books? I got them, and they, by mistake, delivered it to him, and he denied that he ever received it. He's a total thief, right? Just by you start saying the nice things, it's always terrible. It's always terrible. I've experienced this myself. You tell someone a praise about his enemy or his competitor at night, in the morning you wake up to hatred. Avol bifnei ohavov mutar, but if they love the person, then you can say it. Keditnan chamisha talmidim hayu lo Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai v'hu haya monish shibchon. We know that we said about Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, the Mishnah states that he had 5 disciples whose virtues he would enumerate. He loved them, so he would say great things about them. That's different. If someone were to speak Lashon Hara in a mocking way, it's just we're just making fun. We're just having light conversation. I don't hate the guy. So this is what King Solomon says. Hayore zikim chitzim v'moves kein ish rima esreyehu v'omar halom esachekoni. As a madman who casts firebrands, arrows, and death, so is the man who deceives his friend and says, "Am I not joking?" V'chein hamesaper lashon hara derech ramos, so to one who speaks slander deceitfully, v'hu shemesaper letumo. He says, "Man, I'm speaking at it. I'm just saying innocently. I have no idea this is Lashon Hara. I would never speak Lashon Hara. I'm just saying a story, innocently." Or then when people rebuke me, says, "I didn't even know that these are the acts of so and so. I just saw someone do it. I didn't know who it was." Oh, Shazel Lashon Hara. Or if he says, "I didn't even know that it was even Lashon Hara." This is a terrible thing. A person needs to know. It's a very important principle that we mentioned previously, and we'll repeat it just once again here to close off tonight. Every human being has value. We have to respect the value of every human being, of every individual, because when we speak negatively about a person, we're either elevating them or we're diminishing them. And if we're putting them down, Hashem gets very, very upset about this. If we elevate them, we have to be careful where it is that we elevate them. In front of people who love them, great. In front of people who don't love them, like their competitor, it's never going to end up positive. And that we have to be very careful of. My dear friends, thank you so much. Have a terrific evening. Don't forget, drive safely, be careful. Laila Tov, have a great evening.
You've been listening to Rabbi Aryeh Wolbe on a podcast produced by Torch, the Torah Outreach Resource Center of Houston. Please help sponsor an episode so we can continue to produce more quality Jewish content for our listeners around the globe. Please visit torchweb.org to donate and partner with us on this incredible endeavor.